What's up, Riders, gangsters, real life G's, and real life men trying to get their life right? This is another episode with Sevlok Hood Tales. Um, the last video, story time that I did, it was about my partner that he got stabbed in the back of the head, and I had to carry him because he was dying in my arms, had blood all over me. Well, that situation domino effect to like a mini war. We was tripping with these motherfuckers. We found out who they were. Some fools got laid out. Some fools got hit for some shit, some money. And it turned into a mini war, like I said. So at this time, this is down the road. The homie actually, he gets better and shit. He recovers. And then the neighborhood, when you go through shit like that, then war wounds, you just hop back into shit. Like, you don't let that affect you. When I got shot up, I had got shot. The day I got out the hospital, I was back in the streets, just burned down, just ready for war with the cast and everything. So, like I said, it was down a couple weeks down, and this was after shit occurred after that, after, fools was putting in work and shit. So, my OG homie, he moves south, south. I still say it's like the west side, but he moves, south, and it's just, got different neighborhoods over there, west side gangs and shit. Well, there's two ways to get to the OG's house. The reason why we even went over there is because if the homie's not in the hood, we usually go to his house to make sure he's good. Homies go over, post at his crib. We had the studio going, so it was the house that the homies would be posted up at all time, because we were always together and shit. So like I said, going to his house, there was two ways. You could go take the light rail. The light rail was probably the safest, and it was the fastest. But where we were coming from, you had to take the Federal bus, and you had to go south on Federal. Well, when you went out south on Federal, especially being, in the middle of Denver, the metro, like, 5 minutes away from downtown, you got on that Federal bus, and when you go up Federal, going south on Federal, you go through many different little areas. Federal's more of a street that has, outside neighborhoods that have gang infested, different hoods. So when you're on Federal, you're basically riding through all kinds of opposition's hood. You know what I'm saying? That's just all ops. But like I said, we don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So we get on that bus, the 30 bus going south on Federal, go all the way down, and where we have to go, it's Federal and Evans. That's where you transfer to the Evans bus. We riding all the way down. Well, I think on Mississippi in Federal, there's a McDonald's on the corner. And then all in that little area, there's a shopping center. They got like the low budget walk-in flea market, haircut place, liquor store. It's a big old shopping center. That's where the bus stops, at that corner where the McDonald's is. Well, across the street, there's the bus going back north on Federal on the other side, but it's the limited bus. And anybody knows about the limited bus, it's a bus that don't stop at every stop. But that stop, it happens to stop on the corner. So there's a McDonald's, and then that's the bus that we stopped at, the McDonald's going south on Federal. North on that same street going north on Federal, there's that limited, and it had pulled over and let two fools out. So we're in the bus, and we just kind of peeping. The fools that get off the bus look gang related. They look like some motherfuckers we tripping with. And sure enough, I look over, and it's the motherfucker that was in that altercation that the homie got stabbed, but it was the fool I took off on in the bus. I punched him, and I started punching him up. It was that fool. So as soon as that happened, I just go. I realize who it was. I hop on the bus. The homies, I got 3 homies with me. They hop off on the bus too. Well, we're about to go across the street, and I see him, and I'm like, "What's up, Rib?" Loud. Hit him up. They realize who it was. These fools run like track star. They get gone. They go opposite and they run the opposite way. We can't catch them. They fucking too fast. So we have to go about 2 blocks down on Federal to get to that transfer station to transfer to the Evans station. To transfer to that bus that goes down Evans. It's about lunchtime. And also in this area, there's a school called Lincoln High School. All the little youngsters were on break. They were doing their little lunchtime. The school had let out for lunchtime. There's a Taco Bell. There's a Burger King. There's Rico Polo's Mexican spot. There's like little shits, you know, that you can eat. So I said, I'm about to grab some fucking lunch. I was starving. So we went to the Taco Bell. We eating, we grubbing. I was like, hell yeah, I got the little tostada, the spicy tostada on me. And about 20 minutes later, I'm chilling. I'm looking down. The homies is grubbing some shit too. I look outside and across the street, I notice there's 5 motherfuckers walking from across the street. And it was that fool. He came with other homies. I fucking, as soon as I seen that shit, bro, I didn't even fucking think about nothing else. I ran outside. The homies follow. Basically, I start striking them up. They realize, we're in that Taco Bell. We start striking them up. Boom, we're about to cross Federal. This is their stomping ground. They call somebody over there. Other homies, like they're gathering up. So they must have called like a gang of their homies. This car drives up in the Taco Bell all crazy. And he drives up fast and he hits his brakes. Well, I'm about like 7 feet away from him. There's all kinds of kids like in this little thing and people. The back fool in the back of there's like 4 fools in the car too. Or I don't remember how many, but I remember the back seat, the closest to like where we were. I hear him cock a heat like click clack. It was said cha-cha, and he kind of like. He said something out the window, but I knew he was banging like he was banging. He realized that people were watching. There was all kinds of kids. So when he realizes that shit, he scatters out. This fool hits, the fool that was driving hits the gas and they scatter out. They go off the curve. They scatter out. So now I'm like, fuck, these motherfuckers got us slipping because we ain't tooled down or nothing. I see them fool. I see that car go across the street, and it was the same motherfuckers. They were all in cadoots. They were all in fucking. They were all a unit. You know what I'm saying? So at that Taco Bell at the time, this is when payphones were still cracking. You still had. This is when the pager era was was going away. I seen the payphone. I had 50 cents. Well, I go to the payphone quick. I dialed the homie's number, the OG that we're going, and I was like, hey, fool. I said, we're over here on Federal and Evans. Motherfuckers got us slipping. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers got us slipping. He's like, go to that. There's a King Soopers like about like a block away. He's like, go to that King Soopers. I'm going to pull up on you fools. So I said, bet. Hung up the phone. Before you get to the King Soopers, there's actually a trailer park. We went around the Taco Bell and we skid through the trailer park. We're creeping through like, hoping these motherfuckers don't see where we're going. So we go to that King Soopers. And when we get to the King Soopers, I know there's a lot of people in front of the King Soopers. So if these fools come out, they're not going to bust. They're not just going to, shoot up some shit right in front of the King Soopers. Like there's too many people. Sure enough, them cars come over there. The car comes over there and they're walking by and, us being little motherfuckers that just are into that shit. We see the car and they're like and we start striking them up on the under like boom, boom, because we know they're not going to bust right there. So I'm like, fuck, where's the homie at? Fuck. He's taking forever. So about 5 minutes later, we're seeing them fools come to the King Soopers. They're really trying to get us, but they're trying to game plan it for they don't get caught up for what they're going to do. 5 minutes later, I see the homie's car drive into the parking lot over there. I see the homie's car driving the parking lot. I'm like, oh, he's cool. He's here. He's here outside the homies. We're like in front and we're just aware of our surroundings, We're not even nowhere. We don't know nobody in this area either. So we're kind of on stuck mode. We don't know where we're going to go if some shit really occur. Well, the homie, he walks up, but when he walks, we're just in front. Like we're just posting and we don't make it obvious that this fool's with us. he goes into the King Supers, but when he passes by us, he's like, come in the, he says it quiet, like he's like, come into the King Supers in 10 seconds. So he goes in, and then I go in like 10 seconds just on the creep. And he tells me, he's like, hey, start going to that street over there, Evans, and start walking down the street. So I said, bet. Went to go tell the homies. I said, in 5 seconds to 10 seconds, we're gonna run over here and we're gonna dip to this Evans. The homie's gonna be tailing us in the car. And it was crazy. So we bail and we get to Evans, bro, and we start walking down Evans, and it's like it's going east. Evans runs east and west. Federal runs south and north. So they basically intersect. We're going east on Evans, and when we get to Evans, we're walking, and there's fucking like a fucking light, and then on this side there's all kinds of like little junkyards. Like on this busy street, there's like, auto place, and there's where they fucking fix cars. We go to this, we walk down the street, bro, no fabrication at all. I look to the left, the homie gets stopped at the light. I look to the left, and it's across the street on Evans. There's these apartments. These motherfuckers, like I said, this was their hood. So all these fools around there pretty much are on phones. Like, look out for these fools. Wow. When I look, like I said, there was only 4 of us on foot, and the homie that was tailing us, and he's at the light back. I look at the fucking apartments, and there's like not even no fabrication. There's like 20 motherfuckers coming out these apartments, and they're fucking running towards us. They're running towards us, bro. And they fucking come to like the street, and I see the junkyard. So I go in there and I grab like this metal bar, and I'm like, fuck, where's the homie? Like, they're about to cross the street. And right when I said that, the homie just comes out of nowhere in his car, and he fucking hits the curve right here, and he stops, and he just starts getting off on these fools. Boom, 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 boom. These fools start, like, literally, he in the middle of daylight, everything, he just getting off. Boom, boom, boom. These motherfuckers just fucking hit the ground, started scattering like roaches, bro. It was fucking crazy, but that's why it was always good to have motherfuckers that were on it. Like, you have to be around motherfuckers that's on their toes at all time. The homie saved our life, because I swear to God, them motherfuckers would have mashed us out. They would have got at us. You know what it is. Your boy Sevlok with the Hood Tales. Let's go.